Hey, g'day winner. How can you win against all the odds? G'day, I'm David Dugan, founder of Abundance Global. Now, this is a question that gets asked of me a lot of times, and it's really interesting. You want to think about it. How is it that you could go and you can beat the odds? Think about it. Imagine if you're an archer and you had to shoot an arrow and hit a pole that was 20 meters away. Think how difficult that might be. Well, you know what? Imagine you were NASA a few decades ago, and here we are on planet Earth, and they've got a rocket ship that they've got to get to the moon. Now, the interesting thing is, when they did the studies and they found out when the rocket ship was going up to the moon, they found out that as the rocket was going through to hit the moon, it was only on course 3% of the time. Can you imagine that? It's only on course 3% of the time. In other words, 97% of the time it was course correcting. Now, here's one thing I find is that entrepreneurs are so focused on their moon or their moonshot. Think of this as the bullseye on their target. That as they're going forward on their rocket ship, that they're thinking, this is my target that I need to be shooting. And every time that they're off track, they beat themselves up. They think to themselves, oh man, I shouldn't have done that. Oh, we're not in the place that we thought we should be. You know what? As soon as you have that thought, as soon as you think, oh, I'm off track, guess what? That's when you're on track. It's when you're off track and you notice it, that's when you know you're on track. That's when you know that it's working, because just like the NASA rocket ship, it's actually constantly course correcting. The thing is, no one ever hits a goal straight. Very rarely do they ever hit it. It's actually constant iterations. It's a constant learning. It's when you put your product out to the marketplace. What was the feedback you got from it? Did you get the right sales? What do you need to tweak? What do you need to change? What do you need to do to add more value? It's all about this 3% on being on track and 97% course correction. Now, as an entrepreneur, it can be a bit of a lonely journey. It can be tough because sometimes if you don't notice it, this off track can actually end up being way off track and you didn't realize it. So what I'd like to do is help you to be able to course correct, at least on a daily basis. If you course correct on a daily basis, it's going to help you to hit your moonshot goal. There are 3 questions that I ask at the end of every day, really simple ones, and that is, what worked today? What was I happy about? What were things that were really cool that I enjoyed doing, that brought me joy? Second thing is, what could be improved? There is always something that can be improved, even on a great day. And the third one is, what are my 3 high value activities for the next day? I do that before I go home. And that way, my unconscious part of my brain is working on the solution. So I wake up in the morning and I'm ready to rock and roll to hit my 3 high value activities. That's how, on a daily basis, you can course correct. Now, if you think of a macro, bigger perspective, if your business is right off track, then sometimes you may not even know that you're off track. And one of the things that I know is that, I don't know about you, but I hate trawling through Facebook feeds trying to find any value to see if I'm on track or off track. And that's something that frustrates me and probably does you as well. So one of the things that I'd love to do to offer as a suggestion is that we have an awesome group of entrepreneurs that we have in a free private group. And we share on ways that we course correct and actually how we can hit our moonshot goals. Would love to invite you in and be part of that awesome community. And here's the thing, there is a no BS rule, and I'm very strict on making sure that that people follow through on what they're going to say they do, and that they're part of the general community. It's an exciting community. Now, if you're really feeling like you're a bit off track, and yeah, it's a little bit difficult and you may feel it's a bit personal, then send me a PM message, and what I do, either myself or one of my team will reach out to you and we'll connect, because we'd love to see how we can help you hit your moonshot goals as well.